Speaking of the nominations process, KwaZulu-Natal ANC regions have by a large number expressed satisfaction with their top 6 nominees announced yesterday by Electoral Committee Chair Kgalema Motlanthe. Incumbent Cyril Ramaphosa leads his rival Dr. Zweli Mkhize by over 1,000 nominations for the ANC president. Similarly, a huge margin put Secretary General hopeful Mdumiseni Ntuli well ahead of fellow contestant Oscar Mabuyane and Phumulo Masualle. Joining us now for insight ahead of the 55th Elective Congress in Johannesburg next month is KZN Provincial Secretary for the ANC, Bheki Mtolo. Good evening and thank you very much for your time. Many do say that, of course, this is only just the beginning. It's not the reflection of what will be the end outcome when you go to conference. A lot of it will be determined at conference with some names possibly coming out from the floor and so forth. But also there will be a whole lot of lobbying that will be happening between this period and then. But at first glance, if you look at those numbers and what the branches are saying as far as the leaders that they want to nominate, are you satisfied?
No, good evening and good evening to viewers. Yeah, we are very satisfied. And I think as you are saying that now a real process of starting to engage with structures, sharing views on how to shape the leadership of the ANC is intensive. As you would know, yesterday I was in the Western Cape, today I am in Gauteng. It is really intensive now. And you would know that if you follow the trends of the ANC, that some people, they forget easily, they got mind of a rat. You would remember that in 2017, our candidate, we supported a huge number of support from branches, nominations, but we all know history that Cyril Ramaphosa was elected president. And then if you follow KZN, for example, many leaders were leading regions. Many of them were nominated from the floor.
Yeah.
They defeated people who were overwhelmingly nominated by branches. Because after the nominations, branch delegates, they are now presented with facts beyond myth. And at the base of the facts that they are presented, then they are able to take decisions at the best interest of the ANC, of which they, through the IOFNAT document we adopted in the first National General Council in Port Elizabeth in 2000, allows branches delegates, while to carry the branch mandate, but also at their own capacity and thinking to take decisions at a conference at the best interest of the African National Congress.
So are you saying to us that the 2,037 or so branches who nominated President Ramaphosa for a second term, for example, have not had access to information that we already know, that there are at least a number of state entities who are investigating President Ramaphosa for the matter of Phala at his farm, including the ANC's Integrity Committee that is also investigating the president, and there's a panel in Parliament that is also investigating the president. How is it that all these 37 branches would want this person to be re-elected?
No, what we are misunderstanding is that at a branch level there, it's about some branches, they got huge membership. I may take an example about eThekwini, for example. We have a branch that's got 1,300 membership. Then the capacity to discuss that thing at a clear and a detailed level is not there. But when you now meet branches, you discuss those things holistically and tell them about the ramifications and implications of those things. Then a delegate, once you get that detailed information, a delegate then takes a decision at the best interest of the ANC. But we are also not mentioning that in these nominations, for example, there's no candidate that has received 50% plus of the branch nominations. The branches that are going to this conference are 3,900. For you to at least get 50% plus one, you must get 1,800 plus branches. That no candidate has received that. Even those who have received the highest nominations, they have not reached that, except the president. But also there are branches that are almost 1,200 that they didn't nominate. Yeah. But we are also failing to understand that branches and delegates are not the same. You find that there's a branch that's got 7 delegates, there's a branch that's got 3 delegates.
Right.
Then you will find that when you go to the branches that have nominated and not nominated, the delegates that are carrying money from branches without any mandate, they will find that delegates are almost close to 2,000, half of the conference.
Yeah.
Then you must understand that that's how this conference is going to be looked at and all that.
Yeah.
And I can tell you that from now, and I wish you that you can keep this record. When the results are announced, people will be very shocked.
Yeah. When we look at, I know you're saying it's not a true reflection, but when we look at the current numbers, right? For example,
Not a true reflection. No.
Yeah.
Don't misdirect me.
No, I'm saying you're saying it's not a true reflection of what will happen at conference. You've just said that. You said at conference the delegates will be different. Yeah. But I'm saying if we look at the branches and how they've voted, so you find that the KwaZulu-Natal, for example, province only voted 60 branches voting for the president to have a second term. Yet all the other provinces...
They have not voted. They've just nominated.
Yes. They've nominated the president for a second term. Are you saying now what you're going to be doing is you're going to be going to the other provinces who have voted maybe higher than the KwaZulu-Natal province, or nominated higher than the KwaZulu-Natal province for the president's second term, to convince them to nominate or at least to vote otherwise when they get to conference?
I think let me repeat myself. Maybe you didn't hear me. I don't know what has caused you to not hear me. I'm saying to you, once branch delegates elected in a BGM, they then converge to a conference. But between even there, you will see that the regions now and provinces, they will call branch meetings and all that at branch delegates. They will consult branch delegates, look at the holistic of matters. You will find that when they arrived at conferences, already a position at the regional level has been taken that no, we have nominated this person, but we think now, for the best interest of the ANC, we are not longer going to vote for this person, we're going to vote for this person. You will find that somebody in the top 6, that all those who are nominated there, somebody can rise from the floor.
Yes.
And he got into ballot with which demands 25%. When the results are announced, it's the one who's elected. That's how it has happened. We've got evidence. Yeah. It has happened like that. Then, if you celebrate, that's why we are cautioning those, especially those who are like us, who believes in ancestors. Don't play with ancestors. Don't go and buy a goat and slaughter a goat and thank your ancestors because of nominations, because you will be playing with your ancestors, because you will hate them. When you are not elected, you think they've failed you. And you have failed your ancestors by celebrating what they have not yet delivered.
Yes. No, I understand that. I understood that very well. But my question is more personal to you. As you're saying, I think you said Western Cape, and you're in Gauteng, if I'm not mistaken. I'm saying in that process that you are now undertaking, having seen the nominations, are you saying to us you're going to those provinces to convince them otherwise to go with a candidate that you support as the province of KwaZulu-Natal?
Yes, you remember, it's not only me. Everybody is lobbying. Everybody has been in every province. And our forecasting, we're not like these people who go to every radio station, to every podcast and all that, every TV station. That is not delegates. Remember, people who go and elect leadership is not society, it's delegates. We are speaking directly with delegates, delegate by delegate, from branch by branch, sub-region by sub-region, zone by zone, region by region, until we consolidate. Then when we go there, we can know that these are the delegates that agree with us. These are the delegates that will vote with us. This is the delegate who think he's misleading us, he will vote with us, but you can see that no, he's not going to vote with us. We will be detailed. That's what we do. And now it's a process of intensive lobbying. But because when you sit with them, you present all the fundamental issues that the delegates should look after. What kind of ANC leadership we need to go forward? What are the challenges that is facing and all that? And we have taken a view, particularly as KwaZulu-Natal. When we go to lobby delegates, we don't speak about any other candidate. We speak about why they should elect those candidates we think they will be the best amongst us to lead the ANC. We don't discuss other candidates. That is not our interest.
All right. KwaZulu-Natal nominated overwhelmingly Paul Mashatile for Deputy President from the numbers that I'm looking at. Will you still be holding that particular position as you speak to the delegates in the province?
And I'm very glad because I thought the media was going to capture that very well and popularize it, because we have been victim of being undermined, being insulted as these Zulus who are tribalists who only vote someone from KwaZulu-Natal. I think now, for the first time, you are telling the South Africans, 60 million South Africans, that out of the candidates, Paul Mashatile from Gauteng got more votes than Zweli Mkhize was coming from KwaZulu-Natal. Meaning, delegates from KwaZulu-Natal and branches from KwaZulu-Natal, they don't only elect leaders coming from KwaZulu-Natal. They elect who they think is the best amongst them. But I'm saying to you, we are lobbying now. We are lobbying now towards conference. And then at the conference, many things can change. Many things can change. They can stay the same. Many things can change then let's allow us to lobby until we reach a final determination.
Yeah. Mdumiseni Ntuli emerging with 241 of the branches in KwaZulu-Natal, Gauteng getting some votes there, nominations, Limpopo, Western Cape and the Eastern Cape. Do you think you, as the province, you would have made an error in not supporting his candidacy?
I'm not a campaign manager of Mdumiseni Ntuli. We, as the Provincial Executive Committee and majority of our branches in KwaZulu-Natal, support Comrade Phumulo Masualle. We are starting to engage. There is a new name of Comrade Badula that has arrived, who is a former president of the Youth League, a former Secretary General of the Youth League. Then bringing a new dimension altogether. We are lobbying now. We are looking at all avenues. But don't appoint me accidentally to be the campaign manager of Comrade Mdumiseni.
All right. Presidential advisor Bheki Mtolo making the top 6 nomination. Were you surprised as KwaZulu-Natal to see that name?
No, I can't be surprised. Why should I be surprised? Because as long as he's a member of the ANC in good standing, he's got more than 10 years. I'm not surprised. I will only surprise if they nominated Luthuli House, because I know he's IP.
Appreciate your time. Mtolo, thank you very much for coming on. Bheki Mtolo, Provincial Secretary there of the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal, and their reaction to the nomination numbers.